The Checkpoint is presented by GM Pharma, the first international multinational pharmaceutical company in Georgia. GM Pharma, to serve those who need it most.
Pedro, hi. It's a pleasure to host you here yet another time here at BMG, and now we have to celebrate the fourth batch of 500 Georgia.
Yeah, we do, and thank you for having me once again. Lots to celebrate.
So Pedro, before we jump in the particulars of the fourth batch, let's discuss what has happened ever since you entered the Georgian market. You know, how have been these four batches before?
Yeah, so we did two batches starting almost 3 years ago, roughly. Now we have invested in or accelerated close to or more than 40 companies. Several different countries involved in these batches. Many different verticals. The results right now look very promising. These companies always start very early with us, as you know, so the metrics that we have to assess their growth, like increase of sales or growth in number of users or fundraising, are all very positive. So we're very happy to see it progressing and looking forward for the next batches.
Let's jump to the fourth batch. You know, what was the selection process like? How many applications did you receive, and what was happening in your guys' mind when you saw these applications?
Yeah, so we do a pretty wide outreach campaign in a very broad region to attract many or as many applicants as we can, but ideally even the best applicants, because we do tend to focus more on quality over quantity. But we got hundreds of applicants as always. The batch that we'll soon announce is going to have just little over 10 companies. So it was very competitive process. Usually what we do is we screen these applicants for eligibility. Are they operating in the countries that we can accelerate or invest in? Are they the type of tech companies that we can invest? Are they submitting all the materials we need? That's a pretty initial eligibility screening. And then they go through a pretty thorough process of interviews with myself and several other experts and team members that allow us to understand how valuable our help for the companies can be, and if it makes sense to have them on our batch or not. And eventually we'll make the final decision and they make it into the batch.
What are some of the most popular sectors that we see companies from in this batch?
Yeah, I mean, we always try, even by design of the process, to have it as diverse as possible. In this batch, we did see a few more companies in HR tech, so companies developing technology for the HR sector. Also for ed tech, educational software and solutions for the educational space. But overall, still very mixed. We have applicants in Web3, FinTech, many different ones too.
Are there any trends you could highlight from, for instance, first batch till the fourth batch? You know, how did the sectors change?
I don't think the sectors change much. Again, in this batch, we did see a little bit more HR tech for some reason, but it might have been just a glitch in the system, in the matrix. Overall, the difference I see is not so much in terms of sectors, is in terms of the quality and the stage of the companies that's applying. In a lot more companies now with global outreach, or from day zero, this ambition of doing businesses in many different countries in the region at the same time, rather than just focused on one specific country. So that shows we're getting more and more ambitious founders applying to the program, which is good.
During the last few batches, we saw that the 500 Georgia transformed into some sort of regional startup accelerator. We saw companies from Azerbaijan, Armenia, Ukraine, some other countries, Kazakhstan as well. You know, okay, let me ask you a different question. What would you attribute this trend for?
I mean, it's a combination. So obviously there's the fact that 500 is here with our brand in a program that is world-class, so that attracts founders. But Georgia also plays an important role in terms of the infrastructure that it offers for founders who want to work from here, set up their businesses here. It's a country where the ease of business is very high. Like, it's easy to make businesses, establish a business here. The talent is available here. Technical talent is very strong. The quality of life is good, and it is a country where people still feel safe harboring their teams, and that makes it very easy for us to attract founders from many diverse countries to come and work here together.
Do you envision this trend to continue in the future?
I do. I'm optimistic. I hope so. We'll continue working with our partners here and outside Georgia to make it so that we continue pushing for this hub as a place for us to run our program and continue attracting the best founders here.
Are there international founders, international startups in the fourth batch? And if yes, could you highlight some countries, for instance?
Yeah. It's a pretty diverse batch again. Again, the usual suspects: Armenia, Azerbaijan, Uzbekistan. More companies from Kazakhstan this time around. One company from Lithuania. So it's very, very diverse mix.
Oh, that's very nice to see country from the EU applying to 500 Georgia.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It could be nice trend setting.
Yeah. I mean, we are doing more and more efforts to work with companies in the Baltic region, for example. So hopefully this is just one of many. We had a Latvian company in the previous batches, now a Lithuanian company. So let's see if that starts a trend.
Awesome. Maybe Georgia can transform into some sort of Estonia one day. You know? Regional tech hub. Pedro, we know that you have now a local team here in Tbilisi.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Did the dynamics around 500 Georgia change ever since your team was established here? You know, do you feel that 500 Georgia has become some sort of center of gravity for local startups?
We want to believe so, and we'll continue. We have a team here, as you say, and we'll continue growing that team. And we believe that a physical presence here obviously does help with the dynamics of the program. And I think people know we're here, and they know we're doing this from here, but with a broader ambition, and they want to come here and work with us. And so we'll continue working with our local partners. Public and private sector in Georgia have been very supportive. Bank of Georgia, JITA on the government side. So we'll continue working with them and with the local team to boost the ecosystem here.
Pedro, what are the next steps for the startups in the fourth batch and their founders?
Yes, so now they're going through a 3-month program, intense, with the support of our resident mentors and visiting mentors that will help them go, from 0 to 10 and from 10 to 1,000. So we're going to work with each company. We work on specific metrics that we know are relevant for that business model, for that sector that they're operating in. And we just help prepare them for the next big milestone, which is very likely another fundraise of much bigger dimension than the one we came in. And they're going through this program to try and scale faster, right? And prepare for that new milestone of fundraising a bigger round at better conditions for them.
And let me ask you last question. What are the future plans for 500 Georgia?
Well, 500 Georgia will continue for the foreseeable future, several years still already planned, right? The overall goal is to invest in at least 120 companies and train them out of here. So we're only getting started. We'll be here for a while.
Well, good luck to you, Pedro. Good luck to 500 Georgia, and thank you for establishing and promoting startup ecosystem here in Georgia.
Thank you so much. It's our pleasure to be doing this with you and others here in the country.
The Checkpoint is presented by GM Pharma, the first international multinational pharmaceutical company in Georgia. GM Pharma, to serve those who need it most.